Okay, very good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Lasham daily briefing for Thursday, the 10th, beg your pardon, yeah, Thursday, the 10th of July, 2025. We'll start off by looking at the synoptic picture beginning yesterday lunchtime. Quite a reasonable day in the end yesterday. It was blue to begin with, but the cumulus did get going, and I think we had a very good day in the end. And we can see we had that very, very weak warm front working its way in. Very little influence on yesterday's conditions. Overnight, that's dissipated, and the high is continuing to work its way towards us, and very much becoming dominant by lunchtime today. No significant weather associated with it, and a couple of low pressures out in the Atlantic, but they are well away. So that's going to give us typical high pressure conditions in the summer. It's going to be hot and blue. Looking overnight and into tomorrow, with pressure reducing slightly, but still no significant frontal activity. And then the low starting to work its way in over the weekend, and we might start to see a little bit of more typical low pressure conditions into Monday, albeit quite weak. The Southwark this morning, fair bit of cloud up in the northern part of the country, but clear in the south, and it's going to remain more or less like that all day. Rain radar, nothing locally, and if we zoom out slightly, nothing anywhere else of concern. A couple of isolated showers up in the north of Scotland, but nothing that's going to be a problem. And if we run the Met Office prediction through, see absolutely no sign of anything today. We're not expecting any sort of isolated showers or thunderstorms. It should be very soarable, but it will remain fairly blue for much of the day. The Odium TAF, nice and short, giving us 3403 knots, cab okay. And Farnborough giving us slightly more round to the west, 330 at 3 knots as well. And then actually few at 4,500, so possibly some light cumulus later on. Quickly looking at the spot winds to the south of us, we've got southeasterly at 5 knots, and to the north of us, 1,000 feet, it's variable at 5, and to the 2,000 feet, it's 2605. So winds mixing quite a lot, and it will continue to do so as that high works its way further in towards us. It's going to be predominantly the northerly, with a little bit of east in it. So if we just have a quick look at Lasham on windy here, can see a northeasterly flow across the airfield. And we are expecting it to remain with that easterly component throughout today. So you can see here on the Met Office local forecast. So that northeasterly becoming northeasterly component. We will monitor that if it requires us to change, we will do so. But based on this, we'll operate on the runway 09 today. It'll be fairly warm, sort of 28, 29 degrees, and the light winds 4 or 5 knots, gusting up to 10. Very high UV up to 8 in the warmest part of the day at 1 o'clock local time. So do take care. Make sure you stay hydrated if you're out in the airfield all day, and do wear sun cream. GFS there giving us much the same, about 28, 29 degrees with a dew point of 13. Looking to the south side, you can see that northeasterly component on the windsock there, completely blue at the moment. I'd like to stay that way for much of the day. Temperature-wise, just refresh that quickly. Yeah, we're up to 22.3 already here. We're expecting that to continue climbing. Dew point is 14.7, and it should remain there for, or more or less there for the rest of the day. Looking at sky sight then, on the left is the excerpt from the potential flight distance. You can see it's not amazing north or to the north, but out to the west and northwest, it should be a reasonable day, albeit fairly blue. Locally, no cumulus forecast by sky sight, but thermals up to 5,500 to 6,000 feet with strengths of around 5 knots. Light winds, northerly, northeasterly. and about 1025 on the pressure, steadily reducing into the late afternoon and early evening. The cloud distribution picture on top meteo starting this morning at 9 o'clock. You see actually quite a lot of that thick low level cloud that we saw on this sat pic previously associated with everything that's going on up there. And maybe a little bit of sort of coastal fog down in the southwest. But as we run that through, hour by hour, it does begin to blow out. Although interestingly, top meteo does show a bit more cumulus locally to us than is forecast by SkySight and the Met Office. So there is potentially going to be a reasonable amount of Q locally. We'll just have to see. Only time will tell. Quite an isolated patch there, not extending particularly far into the West Country, and then blowing out by about 6 o'clock. So the NOTAMs for today is nothing of particular significance local to us within a reasonable radius. 29 there's flare firing, that's not until the evening, so that's not going to affect us. And 36, that's paragliders at Combe Gibbet, and 43, we've got West Ilsley paraglider winch launching. That's up to 1,900 feet QNH, and that's from 11 o'clock until 4 o'clock local time. All of these other 54, 55, 51, everything in this area is paragliding, all paragliding NOTAM. So busy day out there with paragliders, paragliding competitions. Do keep a lookout, but other than that, there's nothing of significance. So at Aston Down, we've got Enterprise, they've got a NOTAM in, and there's nothing else to affect. Okay, we'll finish off with the local airfield brief. Looking initially at the Odeon cross section, and you can see no significant clouds throughout the majority of the day, and they're suggesting a few strata Q, about 5,000-foot cloud base around 3 or 4 o'clock. So it is a bit of a split picture in terms of what the cloud's actually going to do today. We know it's going to be blue certainly for a while, but the time at which we start to get these little bits of cumulus may vary from sort of 1 o'clock or anywhere up until about 4. No significant weather to be concerned about. Light winds becoming more northeasterly and a temperature of 29. A lot of bookings then. We've got 2 K21s for the 5-day courses. There's 2 K21s booked for instructional flying, and there's a K21 allocated to the casual list. We've also got K13 operating trial lessons today, and there's plenty of single-seater availability. At the moment, there's 3 on the casual list, so if we could have an instructor to help, that would be very much appreciated. And the repairs have been completed on the simulator, so it is once again available as normal. Just a reminder again about the Aboyne expedition, not a huge number of places left now, but still plenty of availability. So do speak to the office and get yourself booked in on that. If you have any questions, speak to Ron, Barry, or myself. Nothing to report today with jet movements from TXL. And in summary, it's high pressure dominating, leading to hot and blue conditions. We have light northeasterly winds throughout, so we'll be operating runway 09 with cables to the south. Please make sure you're ready when the cable or tug arrives, and do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. Grid will be in its usual place in the top left-hand corner, as it is required. And of course, if you are concerned about takeoff performance, please do just head to the main runway and we'll launch you from there in turn. Winch in its usual place, and cables on the south grass of the main runway, and air towing off the heart. That's all from me. We'll see you out there very shortly. Let's have a very good day and keep it safe. Thank you very much.